Happy Friday the 13th. You know what the best kind of pasta to have on Friday the 13th is, right? Fettuccine Alfredo. Tough crowd. I thought I would build out a mortgage coach TCA and show you how I did it because I had somebody ask me what the payments could look like for a home, a listing. So I thought, all right, great opportunity to show what I do. And sometimes I'll do this a little bit faster and estimated like than others. So, like for accounting for taxes and escrow, I do like maybe 13 months just to give a rough number, an approximate number. But today, let's hone it in and get as accurate as possible. We're gonna hit new presentation, and this was a friend for a friend who asked about it. So I'm just gonna put Joe Buyer on there. We don't worry about the contact information. You don't have to worry about goals. Those are really just for you. You don't have to put in assumptions either if you're just running a payment calculation. If you wanted to show things like tax deductibility, then we'd fill that stuff out. Affordability, we'd fill that out. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to worry about, let's emulate the fee sheet experience. So this particular buyer is interested in a VA purchase. So VA, or we could say how buying 2922 Marshall Street with VA. Okay, so we're going to go to product template, and I don't do much VA here, but we can select here. We've got a lot of different templates. We'll just do this VA one right here, and it builds in the upfront mortgage insurance and everything. And the purchase price would be $3,098. We'll do it off the listing, and let's assume 0 down. I'm just going to put in a placeholder rate right now. And I'm going to leave these alone. I'm going to go to get pricing by Optimal Blue. That loads that widget. And let's assume good credit. And we'll say Michigan. Doesn't matter what county you put in, really at all. I'm just putting that in. DTI doesn't really matter, even though it's a required field. We'll do a 30-day lock period, primary residence. Sometimes selecting the AUS matters. Seems like more recently than not. We'll do ACH. And then none of these fields really matter too much unless you're looking for a specific product, just like what you're used to seeing in similar fields in OB with Empower. And sometimes you get an embarrassing result where you don't find anything. So I obviously selected something wrong. We'll try that right there. And we'll do this. And we're still not getting it. So usually you get it. Let's see what I'm forgetting. Is there anything? Do that. And we'll do this. I don't think I forgot anything else. No. I promise you this usually works a lot better, but we will try not specified. Oh, it's my loan amount. That's what it is. Sometimes using BombBomb will affect your system resources, and typing in didn't quite work. So I'm sure somebody watching this was screaming at me saying it's not the right loan size. Ah, shoot, that still didn't fix it. We'll go here. There we go. All right. So we got our VA, and these are all the different pricing options. Make sure you look at the lock date. It's going to show you at the top the option that's the closest to what you selected in there. So it's showing the 7% 30-day lock, but we'll look around here and we'll see. Looks like maybe 6.375 with an LO concession and a 45-day lock there. Looks fine. Okay, so I've selected that. We'll hit next. Goes to my closing cost screen. We'll zero out the points because that would be the way to effectively show the LO concession. And then we're going to go to closing cost details. Now here, we'll select a template. And my template here will be Michigan VA. And what this does is it builds out really all the loan fees and appraisal fee, reinspection fee, yada, yada, yada. You should have these templates. If you don't, ask someone to get it loaded. So now we'll click the First American Fee screen. This will load in title fees. If there's transfer tax that's normal to the location, it'll show that in there too. So I'll put in the zip code is all I really care about. I can put in an address. In fact, I will put in an address because that will show the address on the TCA. but you don't have to. Now transaction type will load. Now sometimes what will happen is it doesn't load. And if it doesn't load, you hit cancel, you hit First American fee again, and it'll show up. It's just a weird little quirk. So I'm going to do sale with mortgage. Next, it's going to retrieve the fees from First American. Hit OK. So anything that it retrieved from First American has this tealish color next to it. You can always delete it. You can adjust it. You can say who's responsible for paying for it. So we're going to apply that to loan. We'll say 15 days of interest, EMD if you wanted to apply it there, funding fee. I don't know exactly if it's going to apply or not, so we'll leave it there. Now, let's talk about escrow and tax prorations. So you can do like the 13 months of taxes and then insurance if you wanted to, but if you want to be more accurate, we can use this tax calculation or proration calculator here, which you're probably all accustomed to using. And my prorations are 4378.58. So we're going to go to closing cost details. We're going to hit add fee because it wasn't in the template. And tax prorations estimate. And that number again was 4378.58. All right, cool. Apply to loan. Next, we're going to go to monthly costs. No HOAs. Insurance, we'll just guess $125. Yes, it could be that cheap, people in Florida. Then taxes, the monthly taxes, $40.84.56, $11.83.46 divided by 12, $439. All right, so if you hit property tax deductible, it'll create a field in the TCA that says total tax deductions if you put in their tax bracket, and it'll show interest deduction, and then if you click property tax deductible, it'll also add the property tax deduction. So it's up to you if you want to select it. Other could be flood insurance. Other could be if you wanted to show if it's a multifamily rent, and then you can put like a negative $1,000 and kind of gets kind of cool and creative, but we're going to leave that alone right now. No mortgage insurance. If I had mortgage insurance, I can click get MI pricing. It's not letting me do this because it's VA. And then insurance. Okay, so we're probably all familiar with this sheet here. So what we'll do is we're going to say, well, first payment if we close in July should be September, and the insurance will be due in July, and this one's going to be in Michigan, so I'll do 4 months of insurance and 11 months of taxes, and I'll just plug it in, 4, 11. Okay, and that's it. That's it for just building one scenario. If I wanted to build more, I hit add another product, and I'll show up there, and then I'll put it in there. Now, once I add another product, I can't delete it. There's no way to delete this. So if you want to suppress it so it doesn't show on their report, you click on the presentation screen, and you just uncheck what you don't want them to see. This is not a comparison between a current mortgage and a new mortgage, so current mortgage is gone. Okay, so the analysis. What do I want to show? What story do I want to tell? This is what it defaults to. 4% appreciation, short-term analysis between loan options, 60 months, long-term analysis, 15 years. That's probably too long. I would do usually 24 months for short-term and 7 years for long-term. And probably the argument is 24 months, well, you'll probably refinance within 24 months. And long-term is you might not keep this home for more than 6.5, 7 years. The benchmark comparison would be, in this case, it's not comparing anything, but you would want to select what your story is going to be. Comparing everything to a highest cost, a lowest cost, highest interest rate, what have you. We're not going to talk about reinvestments or any of this other stuff. I usually don't even select any of these things. But this adjustment reinvestment strategy is a really cool thing. It's for like talking about investing money instead of down payment and how you can have a greater net worth. Anyway, we click on presentation and preview, and then a couple things happens. If I hit preview, it'll generate the preview. This is what I can see, so what I created here. And we've got the purchase price and the loan amount and the interest rate. Now, everything I'm selecting here, these highlights will show up on the borrower's document. The borrower can't highlight it, but I can. which is kind of cool because if they're looking at it live and I go in here and I click on preview and I start navigating, it's going to navigate for them. They're watching on their phone, they're going to start to see these yellow selections highlighted. So I can talk someone through it and say, all right, you're missing where we're looking at. So click here and look here. And so you can, the people really like it. It's kind of cool. So we've got payment, we've got cash to close. If I hit more info, then it shows the breakdown of principal and interest and taxes and insurance. Closing costs, a summary of the closing cost fee. Common question I get is what's APR fee and non-APR fee? Well, you just go down here and hit fee detail. And fee detail shows everything with the loan fees and title fees and escrow down here and everything. It doesn't show prepaid interest, that lives down here. It doesn't show points, that lives down here. And that's it. It's that easy, it's that hard. But with enough reps, it's simple. This is 11 minutes right now in this video. It takes me a lot quicker than that if I'm not explaining. And I'm just going boom, boom, boom. So you can get there too. Have a good Friday. Have a good week. Happy Father's Day for everyone celebrating.